The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, some of you may be asking, BT, why are you so dressed up? Why do you look so fly today, BT? Well, because the old saying goes, if you look good, you play good, you perform good. So that's why we're rocking the nice shirt today with the $20 Bright Link, the $20 Bright Link. But listen. I wanted to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Usyk. Big fight in the heavyweight division. September 25th, the date. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is the venue. It's going to be a momentous occasion for British boxing, and it's good to see that they're getting back to some normality over there. So, big shout out to all my British brethren across the pond. Great fight, and you know what? I'm going to take this time right now to apologize to Anthony Joshua and apologize to Eddie Hearn, because about a month or so ago I made a video when Eddie Hearn had thrown out the possibility of vacating the WBO belt and not fighting their mandatory Usyk, and that really pissed me off, and that really left a sour taste in my mouth. But it hadn't happened yet, so I gave them the opportunity to at least make the fight happen. And some time went by, some negotiations have taken place, some T's have been dotted and some I's have been crossed, and it's happening. And Anthony Joshua is taking on one of the toughest fighters out there, and you got to give Anthony Joshua so much credit. So I'm going to apologize to Anthony Joshua. I'm going to apologize to Eddie Hearn, because there's a lot of fighters that wouldn't want to take this fight. Usyk is not someone that brings a lot to the table in the heavyweight division in terms of belts or money. He's at this point in his career, in the heavyweight division right now, he's very high risk, low reward, But at the same time, he's still a fighter that, could go. He's very capable of going up there and messing up the entire plans of the heavyweight division. Because right now, the fight that the majority of boxing fans want to see is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, and should Usyk wins, that plan goes up in smokes. That plan goes up in flames, and Usyk is all of a sudden looking at himself as the unified champion. Now, it is worth noting, as in most cases with Eddie Hearn fights and big time fights, that there is a rematch clause. I was listening to an interview that Eddie Hearn did today with Talk Sport out there in the UK, and he's already went ahead and said that there's a rematch clause for this fight. So Usyk is gonna have to beat Joshua twice if he wants to get away from Joshua. But either way, even if he beats him just once, that puts Joshua on ice for at least 9 months. So we're talking about Joshua. If Joshua loses to Usyk, he's not even gonna fight anybody differently until the third or fourth quarter of next year. So really interesting stuff going on in the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua, whether you love Anthony Joshua or you hate Anthony Joshua, a lot of people have criticized me for hating on Anthony Joshua, which I find ridiculous, because I love Anthony Joshua and I've enjoyed a lot of his fights. With that being said, Anthony Joshua is compiling an amazing heavyweight resume. Anthony Joshua, when you look at his resume, he's beaten the likes of Dillian White, Klitschko, Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam, Alexander Povetkin. He beat Pulev. He beat a lot of fighters, man. A lot of top fighters. He hasn't been able to fight the two guys that everybody's wanted to see him fight the most, in Fury and Wilder. But outside of that, when it comes to having depth in your resume at heavyweight, there's nobody on planet Earth in the heavyweight division that's touching Joshua right now. Now, you could argue that Tyson Fury has the higher quality wins. He has the 2 wins. He has the 2 most important wins you can get in the heavyweight division right now. But in terms of depth, consistency, fighting on a consistent basis, right now Anthony Joshua he's the man in that regard. Anthony Joshua is fighting Oleksandr Usyk. These are 2 fighters that were both Olympic gold medalists in 2012 and the London Olympics. A lot of people thought Joshua won his gold medal by gift, but whatever. Irrespective of that, they both picked up medals in the 2012 Olympics. For a long time, even before Oleksandr Usyk even talked about being cruiserweight champion, a lot of people, when he first turned pro, thought that he would go the Evander Holyfield route and try to go undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed at heavyweight. I remember it so clearly many years ago, when I was watching my boy Mr. Boxing Today. Shout out to Mr. Boxing Today. Go subscribe to him. He's an absolute expert and encyclopedia when it comes to heavyweight boxing, both modern day and of yesteryear. You know, just a great guy and a great channel. I remember when I heard him talk about Usyk before Usyk turned pro in one video, and he was talking about Usyk going the Evander Holyfield route, and he's already halfway there. He's already halfway there. He did it at cruiserweight. He cemented himself as one of, if not the greatest cruiserweight of all time. Now he's in the heavyweight division, and he's got a chance to really make some significant progress in the heavyweight division by throwing Anthony Joshua and becoming unified champion. You know, when we talk about Usyk, Usyk is someone that, you know, southpaw, very clever, you know, in his own regard. He's kind of like a big Lomachenko. That's the best way I could describe Usyk, a big Lomachenko. You know, so it's not an easy fight for Joshua. You know, he's going in there not just with a guy who believes he can win and believes in his heart of hearts he can win, but he's going in there with one of the best pound for pound fighters in the sport. You know, a lot of people go on about a lot of these fighters who are on the pound for pound list, but if we're talking about accomplishments and what people have actually done in the professional ranks of boxing in the last 5 years, Oleksandr Usyk is right there. You know, he's right there with the Terrence Crawfords and the Josh Taylors of the world, the Chocolatitos of the world, as guys who have really put the best foot forward to fight the best fighters and go undisputed and really trying to make a legacy for themselves. You know, as Canelo would say, escribiendo la historia, the right history. That's what he's been doing, and he's gonna try to do some more of that against Anthony Joshua at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium come September 25th. And I'll be honest, I am more excited for this fight. I'm more excited for this fight than I am for Fury Wilder 3, because Fury Wilder 3, as I've stated many times, and I'll state it again in case you never heard me say this, Fury Wilder 3 is a waste of time because we already know who the better fighter is of the two. This is something new. This is something interesting. You know, this is Anthony Joshua, a couple of fights removed from beating Andy Ruiz, trying to make that second run in his career, that second run of dominance in his career, kind of like similar to what Vladimir Klitschko did. You know, Klitschko took some early losses in his career, but once he hit his stride in that second stage of his career, he never lost again. So could that be the case for Anthony Joshua? I don't know yet, but what I can say about Joshua is he's developing into a great fighter. He's developing into a very great talent in the sport. You saw that in the Pulev fight when he was throwing triple uppercuts, and he kind of looked like and I mean this respectfully, he looked like the bootleg Riddick Bowe. It looked fantastic. He looked like $1 million. In every fight, Anthony Joshua is showing new improvements. So, you know, now we're going to see those improvements really put to the test as he takes on a undefeated, pound for pound caliber, tricky operator in Oleksandr Usyk. So just a great fight. And, you know, I think if Anthony Joshua wins this fight in dominant fashion, if he's not on your pound for pound list already, he's got to be on your pound for pound list after beating a guy like Usyk, because Usyk's pound for pound caliber. So make of that what you will. Save the date, September 25th, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Anthony Joshua returns to the ring against undisputed cruiserweight champion, now trying to make some waves in the heavyweight division in Oleksandr Usyk. It's gold medalist versus gold medalist, unified champion versus former undisputed champion. It's not too many fights in boxing better than this one right now. So I'm gassed about it, and I'll definitely be live for this one when it does happen. So you guys leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.